Donald Trump knew there was going to be a very teeny tiny crowd at his inauguration outside, and Donald Trump now canceling the outside portion of the inauguration on Monday and blaming it on cold weather has rubbed the MAGA base who traveled to be there outside the wrong way. We've received video of a lot of these MAGA people saying, "What? It's cold, but okay, we can wait outside in the cold. What do you mean you're canceling the inauguration?" Democratic Senator Chris Murphy, though, puts it best. He goes, "Folks, this is a metaphor for the next 4 years. Yeah, the weather made it worse, but it was going to be an embarrassing crowd size no matter what. So Donald Trump had to cancel it because of his ego." But the billionaires, Zuckerberg, Bezos, Musk, and others, they're going to get the indoor seats. And the regular people who paid thousands of dollars to travel to be in Washington, D.C., they're going to get screwed. So let's show you this right here. Here's a video from NBC. This is the MAGA people in Washington, D.C. They're being told in this clip that Trump just said the inauguration outside is canceled. It's going to be inside. Watch their reaction. It's priceless. Let's play it.
At Capitol One Arena for folks, but nobody's going to be outside now. What's your reaction to that?
So we're not going to get to see it in person then. Is that correct?
That's right.
Well, I don't like it. I mean, we came all the way from Washington, from Oklahoma, and now we're not going to get to see it. We might as well stay home and watch it on TV.
It sucks. Let me rephrase that. It's not good. Yeah, it's actually something that we've been looking forward to for historical purposes, and being a part of it, that's once in a lifetime.
Absolutely.
We made all the plans, all the arrangements to come up and be a part of this event. And all of a sudden to hear that it's
the crowd size from, say, 2009, former President Obama's inauguration, 2017, Donald Trump's inauguration. Remember, Donald Trump had to pretend it's the biggest crowd size ever. Can we talk for just a second, though, about the weather? Like, again, it's going to be cold, okay? It's cold in D.C. in January, and it's particularly cold. But you take a look at the forecast for Monday. It's 24 degrees Fahrenheit. It's going to be a low in the evening hours of about 9 degrees Fahrenheit. But when John F. Kennedy was inaugurated and sworn in many, many years ago, it was 22 degrees Fahrenheit, -6 degrees Celsius, with a wind chill of 7 degrees Fahrenheit, -14. Rotunda. Democratic New York Senator Chuck Schumer uses this photo and said, "It took place outside. It was so big. There was so many people right there. It was wild." You have Democratic governor and former VP candidate Tim Walz has this photo of himself from Minnesota. He goes, "There's no such thing as bad weather, just bad clothing." Here's another photo right here of John F. Kennedy and Jackie Kennedy walking from the White House to the Capitol for his inauguration, whereas Donald Trump moved the inauguration into the rotunda because it's too cold. Marjorie Taylor Greene and a lot of other MAGA people think that there must be some conspiracy going on here. Maybe Donald Trump's safety is being threatened. Nah, I just think Donald Trump can't handle the cold, Marjorie Taylor Greene. Here's what Marjorie Taylor Greene posted. She goes, "I've personally attended countless rallies where President Trump spoke in extreme weather conditions from cold to rain to heat. Is there a security threat other than extreme cold temperature, not only for him, but for the people?" Our editor-in-chief, Ron Filipkowski, goes, "Father Time is undefeated. Trump is not in any shape to stand out there in the cold. Got to give the old geezer some credit for understanding his limitations," Filipkowski also wrote. Trump claims he's moving his inauguration inside from the cold because he's worried about the health of attendees. Meanwhile, he had people dropping like flies at his outdoor rallies over the summer in places like Arizona, Nevada, and other locations because he didn't want to spend the money to do them inside. Also, Donald Trump held events at very cold places like in Nebraska, I think in 2020, and left people stranded there as well. Aaron Parnas, who works with the Midas Touch Network, posted this photo of Amy Klobuchar in the snow, and Parnas goes, Donald Trump is afraid of cold temperatures. Democrats aren't. David Axelrod, Democratic consultant, posted the photo of John F. Kennedy from 1961 inauguration and says in 61, John F. Kennedy was inaugurated on the Capitol steps in wind chills of 7 degrees. It was almost as cold for Obama in 2009. In fairness, Trump is more than 3 decades older than JFK and Obama were, or did he just fear the very small crowds? Again, one of the things that we knew as well is that, when Donald Trump held other events like in Omaha that I was telling you about, hundreds of Trump supporters stuck on freezing cold Omaha airfield after rally, 7 taken to the hospital. This one account goes, Trump supporters, we don't care how cold the inauguration is. We're used to being left out in the cold. Donald Trump to Trump supporters, well, I don't want to be too cold. I got to keep my billionaires happy on the dais inside. We'll do it inside the rotunda. You just take a look at Donald Trump's ridiculous statement right here. He also tries to say, look, I'm doing this to protect all of the people. I want to protect the first responders and the canine dogs and even the horses. I'm trying to protect the horses, everybody. Donald Trump goes, everybody's going to be celebrating this. There's going to be so much people who are going to be there. And now you could watch it at the Capital One Arena on Monday for live viewing, he says. Don't worry, all the parties are still going to be taking place, he says as well. He goes, this is an Arctic blast sweeping the country. I just don't want to see people hurt or injured. Sure, Donald, that sounds like you don't want to see people hurt or injured. And by the way, Donald, I know you've been talking a lot about annexing Canada and Greenland. You are aware that those locations are much colder than what it's going to be like on Washington, D.C. throughout most of the year. You are aware of the way the weather patterns work. But I go back to what I read at the outset of this video, folks, and it's from the Democratic Senator Chris Murphy, who says, we know what this is all about. We know what this is about. Trump and the billionaires inside, warmth, all of the supporters who show up. Yeah, you ain't getting in. You ain't going to Mar-a-Lago. You ain't getting into these events. You ain't the Mar-a-Lago oligarchs. You ain't them. By the way, guess what? Trump ain't lowering the prices. He ain't making housing more affordable. You ain't getting those jobs that he promised you. But he will talk about changing the Gulf of Mexico to Gulf of America because America, right? We will try to distract you while he breaks every single promise. But we told you so.
Governors are adjusting their approach to Trump in the hopes of having a working relationship with the amortization and the recognition of his party success in November. Others are preparing to defend against his political policies. A Democratic facing a split legislature and a potential 2018 candidate said she wants to work with Trump but also has concerned about his proposed tariffs, asserting we certainly should not have them to punish our closest trading partners. In the State of State address, Democratic New York Government Kathy Hochul echoed Trump's focus on inflation and tax cut by outlining an affordability plan that would cut income taxes from most people, expand the child tax credits, and send New York up to 15